It's like, so I feel like I would be really religious if I could have an institution that I could go to, but it's like, I feel like there's a lot of people that would be religious, but we're lost.
Oh, I completely agree with that. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are lost, but shout out to Joseph Campbell. Everybody needs to go read his book, The Warrior of, or The Hero of a Thousand
Mhm.
Faces, because that's what really saved me for religious reasons. I wanted to also ask you, what do you think about complementarianism? Do you think that
I
like
don't,
a
I don't know what that word is.
so that's like a relationship Jewish people, Christians, Catholics believe in a lot. It's basically saying that, like the man or the woman isn't better than the other. They're both good at certain things. Like,
Uh-huh.
and that's all. It's just saying, and I mean, obviously I think that the man is the 51%. He's gonna make the
Yeah,
final
yeah,
say in
yeah.
things. But yeah, what do you think about that? Do you think that women are also like way better than men at certain things, and then men are way better than women at certain things?
Yeah. I mean, I think women and men are different, and they're better
It's the
at different
opposite of
things.
egalitarian.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think men and women are different. We're good at different things. Like,
Okay.
I think women are better at like picking up on social cues.
Yes.
So like we'll see the dirty look someone gives us at a bar where men were like, "What are you talking about?" Or I think men are more. I don't know. Men are just better at things, but men are better at things that make like societies run, like
Mhm.
building societies, fighting, that
Okay.
sort of thing.
One of the things I wanted to ask about is I truly believe that like a lot of the problems that we have today are because of men because we
Mhm.
shape the environment.
Mhm.
The environment's your destiny
Mhm.
for the most part. For most people, the environment's your destiny. But who really shapes the environment? Who makes the laws and stuff? It's mostly men. So I always say that it's men's fault, and women are kind of just being brought up in this. They're just
Mhm.
victims of their environment. So I don't like to blame them for who
Mm,
they become.
no, I mean they're not children, they're women.
Well, if you were born in India, you would have been a Hindu, and
Mhm.
there's no choice about it. Like you were just born there. Your environment is your destiny. You don't really get to
Mm,
decide everything.
I mean, I know one homeless girl. I know two girls that were homeless, and one became a hooker, and one didn't. And it's like, I don't know. I think you have some choice.
Well, yeah, it's like the old saying of like the two twin brothers with alcoholic father. Like one of
Yeah,
them saw the father and became alcoholic, and one saw it and said,
yeah,
"I'm never gonna do that."
yeah. No, I mean, do I think men are at fault? Yes.
Yeah.
I think men, you're right, they did shape the laws and they allowed women to manipulate them is kind of the way I would put it. But at the end of the day, like we asked for this.
Hmm.
So, and at the end of the day, I think men today are still traditional for the most part, and I think women today aren't.
They're not at all. Yeah, unless you go to another country, right?
Yeah, so I think it's hard because you're right. Like men did create the laws and they built the society, but it's kind of like they were trying to appease us.
Yeah.
And so because of that, it's like we asked for it.
Mm. No, it is. I take accountability for all men. Um, what was something else? Is there another question? What is your opinion on meeting a girl through cold approach versus through a social circle? Oh, that's gonna bring on to my other
Cold
question.
approach. I honestly, I don't think men approach that much in real life. So I'm a big fan of cold approach. I think it shows like you're confident and I'm a big fan. But I think like your success rate is probably higher through social circle because we value social status so much. So like the more people that we know you, it's like the more like the less likely you're crazy.
Okay, well, here's like a couple things I disagree with Red Pill a lot on. I'm a big person on being friends with girls. My entire life since I grew up with sisters, and my
Mhm.
mom was raised in a hair salon with my mom. I
Mhm.
always around women and stuff. Always had girlfriends. I've always also had best friends that were girls. I even went to prom with one of my best friends,
Mhm.
and I've always been close friends with women. I've
Mhm.
never had best friends as guys.
Mhm.
Every guy that I did have as a close friend robbed me or screwed me over in some way
Mhm.
because of competition and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I always tended to have girls as friends, and because of that, I've never had an issue getting a relationship my entire life.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's pre-selection or what it is,
Mhm.
but I've always had easily had relationships because of all the girls around me. Do you think that it's wrong that Red Pill teaches men to just completely kind of shun women in
Mhm.
friendships?
Mhm.
Like say that if she doesn't sleep with you on the first time, don't even talk to her again, type of thing.
Okay, I think that a mating strategy, having beautiful women around you and pretty women is a good one. I definitely think that helps for sure. And I think there was even red pill guys I know would co-sign that. Um, what I think they're talking about is men that are friends with women because they want to get in a relationship with
Mhm.
them and give them time, attention, and resources when there's no end date, and like she really just doesn't view you that way.
I try to tell them to friend zone them first. Like you have to friend zone the girl first. You can't let her friend zone you. You need to tell her from the start, "You're my friend, and I'm not
Actually, I
wanting
agree
anything
with
from you."
that. I agree with that because then they kind of want you more because you
Yes,
friend zoned
it works
them.
every
Yeah,
time. I don't
yeah.
know why, but it does.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that most men aren't friends with 300-pound women, and I think there's a reason.
Yep.
However, I'm not in the camp you can't have any friends of the opposite sex. I just think usually there's an underlying sexual attraction, or there's like has to be like a reason, you know.
Yeah. What was the other thing that was very related to that?
Like a lot of times, men and women are friends because one like hit on the other and they turned the other down, and that's kind of how.
Yeah. No, that's funny. There was something else that was in line with that I disagree with on Red Pill. The friends. Hey, y'all chat. Y'all know me very well. What's the other thing I disagree with Red Pill on? What is your opinion on?
Oh shit! I dropped my ring.
No, I am Sergio's first male best friend. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Danny. Now, this whole group of Discord, y'all were like all my first male best friends, guys. Thank y'all. That what was I
Oh
gonna?
yeah,
Yeah,
this is the Fresh and Fit
yeah.
Discord,
This is the Fresh and
Dallas.
Fit Discord.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, this is how I became so anti or so purple pill. It's
Mhm.
not even that I'm against red pill. I'm very naturally red pilled. I didn't
Mhm.
have to read Rollo's book to learn
Mhm.
about women. I've been around them my
Mhm.
entire
Mhm.
life.
Mhm.
I've learned everything I need to know about
Uh-huh.
them. So that's why I disagree with a lot of things because I have tons of experience with tons of different kinds of women to
Mhm.
kind of disagree on a lot
I
of
don't think
points.
Red Pill like hates women though. I think they just are honest about our nature and how they are. And I don't think they're anti-relationships. Like I would consider Rolo like one of the founders of the Red Pill space, so to speak. And he always says men and women are better together. It's just like this is the environment we're living in.
See, and that's okay. Well, that's what it is. So, what I disagree with a lot of my like Myra
Mhm.
and all them is
Mhm.
like whenever they bring up on the show, like women are acting this way now.
Mhm.
So we're gonna do this. We're gonna throw our hands up in the air. We're
Uh-huh.
men. We
Uh-huh.
control the environment. We create everything. We're leaders.
Uh-huh.
But in this situation, it's not our problem. We're gonna
Uh-huh.
throw our hands up in the air, and it's
Mhm.
not our problem. And I disagree with that.
Uh-huh.
It is my problem. It is. I am gonna hold men accountable, and I'm gonna hold myself accountable,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna point out things that I think that aren't right.
You can't change all of women though.
Yeah, you can't. But I think the problem with the world is a lot of people think that they can't change the world,
Uh-huh.
but you can change the world.
Mhm.
We live in a place in America where you literally
Mhm.
have the freedom to do anything.
Yeah, just get a girl a little bit younger.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I gladly will tell guys to not date, shitty girlfriends or not do anything like that.
Yeah.
I tell them all the time, you need to become
So
the biggest
so
provider possible.
so what I don't understand like what you disagree with them on. Like what piece of advice? Is it the spinning plates?
I don't agree with spinning plates. I think that you're just adding to the hedonistic cycle. There's a hedonistic
Uh-huh.
cycle going on, and the guys spinning plates are just making the women hate men because
Uh-huh.
they get spun on, and men are more liars now than ever before. And
Mhm.
nobody ever wants to talk about this, but
Mhm.
men lie and scam like crazy, and it's because they can't. How would you feel if you were a man and you can't even be perceived of as a provider?
Mhm.
Well, you're gonna go buy something that makes you look more like you have more money. You're
Mhm.
gonna lie and act like you
I
make more
don't
money than you really do.
I just think women are full of shit. I think they pretend they don't know, but like shut up. Yes, you do. And if you like okay, as someone I've had someone try to bamboozle me with children, but like I found out pretty early like they can only hide it from you for so long and the girls stay.
Yeah.
Like I just don't.
Well, it's because they start manipulating them, like PUA, that's all manipulation tactics. That's just gonna get a girl with
Mm.
BPD to love you that has, borderline personality disorder and that they're gonna cling to anybody. Like,
No, I mean I think women they like a guy with game, and I don't think game is manipulation. It's building attraction. Just my opinion. I think girls act like they don't know a guy has options or that they're the side chick or they're like they know when we know when a dude's getting laid. Like shut up.
well,